Dre gave me a copy of the new album, and I just fuck it.
Mic check 1 2. Can I talk about how jealous I am of musicians? Like, I'm a comedian. I can't go on stage and go, mic check 1 2. The first thing out of my mouth has to be something funny. Meanwhile, musicians, rappers specifically, they get to just vibe, dude. They're like, this is the intro of the song, and I'm just going to say some cool guy shit. Respect. Who would have known? Who would have known? So who would have knew? Who would have known? I think the latter is grammatically correct, but here we go.
I don't do black music. I don't do white music. I make fight music for high school kids.
He makes fight music for high school kids, dude. That's so exciting. I think that's so cool. I think when I listened to this as a 10-year-old boy for the first time, I didn't even understand the cultural significance of a white guy rapping. So when he's like, I don't do white music, I don't do black music, I'm like, those are different kinds of music? I had no idea. I mean, all music is black music if you go back far enough, but I see what he's saying. Actually, I don't know. Did black people didn't make country music? I know there's Darius Rucker, right?
When I drive like this, I put wives at risk with a knife like this. Shit, you probably think I'm in your tape deck now. I'm in the backseat of your truck with duct tape stretched out.
So you think Eminem is in the tape deck of your pickup truck, but he's actually in the bed of your pickup truck. How stressful, dude. That's how different life was back then. I'm actually a little too young to know about putting cassettes in your cars, but I know the feeling of bringing, half a dozen CDs because you never know what the vibe's going to be when you're on a road trip, right? Now it's easy.
The fuck way down, waiting to straight jump out. Put it over your mouth and grab you by the face.
Right?
What now? Oh, you want me to watch my mouth? How? Take my fucking eyeballs out and turn them around? Look, I'll burn your fucking house down, circle around and hit the hydrant so you can't put your burning furniture out.
So that is a reference to a song that was on the Slim Shady LP called Bad Meets Evil. Now, of course, Eminem has a rap group with another rapper named Royce da 5'9", and that group is called Bad Meets Evil, but they also have a song called Bad Meets Evil. It's actually the only feature besides Dr. Dre on the Slim Shady LP. And how does the line go? He says, I'm the one that burned your house down. Well, I'm out now. And this time I'm coming back to blow your house up. And I ain't going to leave you with a window to jump out of. So that's kind of a nod to that line, I think, in this song. By the way, if anyone's curious, you could find the original version of Bad Meets Evil that is so low budget and has like half of the first verse by Eminem is completely different for some reason. And he's also not doing the Slim Shady voice yet. He's actually like rapping really low and quiet. It sounds like someone's in the next room and he's trying not to wake him up. It's actually pretty hilarious.
I'm sorry, there must be a mix-up.
You want me to fix up lyrics while the president
gets his dick sucked?
Okay, that's obviously a reference to Bill Clinton. And I remember as a 10-year-old boy hearing that line and being psyched that I understood the reference. I felt so adult. I'm like, I know about Bill Clinton and getting his dick sucked. Because at 10, at least for me, I didn't have like full access to the internet like 10-year-olds have now, but I knew that Bill Clinton got his dick sucked and that's why everybody was mad at him. What I couldn't understand was that Monica Lewinsky saved the dress, right? I didn't know what cum was at 10, right? So I had no idea. I'm like, how does her saving, is this Bill Clinton's dress? I don't understand, but.
Fuck that, take drugs, rape sluts, make fun of gay clubs, men who wear makeup.
Okay, that is full 4chan Slim Shady. What those last few, take drugs, rape sluts. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Can you imagine being Eminem's lawyer at this time or working at Interscope? You're like, fuck, the PMRC just got started. How am I going to explain this to somebody? And some people think, myself included, that line about making fun of men that wear makeup, right? Now that's classic early aughts homophobia. But also I think it's a subtle jab at Insane Clown Posse. And I'll talk about the ICP beef when I do my reaction to the song Marshall Mathers, but just throwing that out there. No disrespect to Insane Clown Posse, down with the clowns till I'm dead in the ground.
Wake up, get a sense of humor. We're trying to censor music. This is for your kids' music. But don't blame me when little Eric jumps off of the terrace. You should have been watching him. Apparently, you ain't parents.
So we have our first introduction of the personification of white America, a child named Eric. There's also the female version, Erica, and they're more prominent in the next album that he's going to have, The Eminem Show, in a song called White America. This hook is constantly in my head. I woke up the other day with just this. You know, I'm a lunatic, so I always have shit going around. But this hook makes a regular.
So who's bringing the guns in this country? I couldn't sneak a plastic pellet gun through customs over in London.
So this is apparently a reference to the fact that Eminem did a photo shoot in France. And I believe it was to promote his single, Just Don't Give a Fuck. So this is like 98, 99. And so he was in France. They took pictures of him holding fake guns. I think they were actually airsoft guns. And Eminem, being like, you know, the 26 or 27-year-old that he was, couldn't even conceive of him getting in trouble trying to bring those to another country. But apparently he was trying to go from France to England, or the UK. And he had these airsoft guns that just looked like real guns. And they wouldn't let him bring it back to the country. And for any MAGA uncle that thinks that Marshall is right wing, he's criticizing gun control in 2000, right? This is right after Columbine, which he's going to reference in a second. But just sort of interesting. Eminem was always had like a 4chan sense of humor, but was also always very left of center.
And last week I seen this Schwarzenegger movie where he's shooting all sorts of these motherfuckers with a Uzi. I see these 3 little kids up in the front row screaming go with their 17-year-old uncle. I'm like, guidance, ain't they got the same moms and dads who got mad when I asked if they like Violet?
Yeah, so that's a reference to My Name Is. The very first line he says in My Name Is hi kids, do you like violence? Which if you're a parent in middle America, that must be terrifying. Like, that's the first line in the first song of this guy's first album. That's crazy.
And told me that my tape taught him to swear. What about the makeup you allow your 12-year-old daughter to wear?
Yeah, what about the makeup you allow your 12-year-old daughter to wear? Interesting. I wonder if that was the inspiration of Dr. Mike Israel's 1-hour video about whether or not you should you let your daughter wear makeup. I think so. I think he listened to the song, heard that line, and was like, I think this topic is controversial enough that I could make a 1-hour video about it. It's actually very interesting. I don't have a daughter. 12 years old. I don't know. That must feel weird. Your 12-year-old daughter comes up to you and is like, I want to start wearing makeup. And you're like, I would like you to try to not look fuckable for a few more years. You know what I mean?
So tell me that your son doesn't know any cuss words when his bus driver's screaming at him, fucking him up words.
I actually remember when Without Me, the song came out. It was playing when I walked onto the school bus, and my school bus driver, she was actually really cool. Wish I could remember her name. I remember she had red hair, so we have that kinship that can never be broken. But I walked onto the bus and they're playing the radio version of Without Me, right? So it's not, there's no cursing or anything, but I remember she was like, LOL, it's the new Eminem album. I'm like, okay, adults like Eminem too. And then later the edited version of Puddle of Mud, She Fucking Hates Me, comes on, and she changed the station. And I remember someone in the back of the bus, it's not a dog whistle, it was literally someone sitting in the back of the bus. They're like, oh, come on, I love this song. And she was like, no, you very clearly know that he's saying the F word, even though they bleep it out. And her argument was pretty good. She's like, you were just playing Eminem, you know. I think she just liked Eminem and she didn't like Puddle of Mud, which, you know, fair.
Fuck was the first word I ever learned up in the 3rd grade, flipping the gym teacher the bird. So read up.
By the way, if you watch 8 Mile or any like Eminem video where he gives the middle finger, he doesn't. Okay, this is the regular middle finger, right? This is how Marshall gives it, right? With the knuckles up. I've never seen anybody else other than Eminem and Brittany Murphy and 8 Mile do this. This to me is fucking weird. I don't know. I think maybe it's like, because this is like white guy trucker, like, go back to your country. And this is like kind of, I don't know, alternative. I don't know. Maybe black people do this. I don't know. If you're black, let me know in the comments. Not even about the middle finger. Just let me know that you're black.
About how I used to get beat up.
Pete on, be on free lunch and change schools every 3 months.
My life's like kinda what my wife's like. Fucked up after I beat her fucking ass every night.
Male feminist Eminem once again.
19 million motherfuckers grew to be just like me. I never knew I would get this big. I never knew I knew
Such a catchy chorus. This song apparently was supposed to be the single. And then the record label is like, you got to give us something a little more radio friendly than this, which is why he wrote The Real Slim Shady. We'll talk about that later.
Get in the hit this bitch. I have a new house or a new car. A couple years ago, I was more poorer than you are.
I love that line. A couple of years ago, I was more poorer than you are. First of all, it's so cool in general when rappers have lines about like, I used to be poor and now I'm rich. You know, like Biggie when he's like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Like, that's so cool. Like, there's another Eminem line. When hell freezes over, he says, I used to sell pizzas. Now I got 12 visas. It's just so fucking cool, man. But also, I'm pretty sure he just said more poorer, because early aughts Eminem thought that was grammatically correct. It's definitely a possibility. Or, it could be a joke like, yeah, you have a master's degree, but I say shit like more poorer and I have more money than you, which is very funny.
I don't got that bad of a mouth, do I? Fuck shit ass bitch, cunt, shooby doo wop. Skibbity bebop of Christopher Reeve. Sonny Bono, skis, horses, and hitting some trees. Hey!
So that's the start of the Eminem Christopher Reeves bit, right? It's actually just Christopher Reeve. And it's a one-sided bit as far as I know. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think Christopher Reeve ever like commented on this, on the fact that like on every Eminem album while he was alive, Marshall had like at least a few Christopher Reeve jokes. I think it was actually on the Bobito show, Hot 97, where he does a freestyle where he says, leave you stiffer than Christopher Reeve. So I think that was always like, I don't know when Christopher Reeve became disabled. I think it was way before 99. But yeah, interesting. Oops. I didn't.
How many retards to listen to me and run up in the school shooting when they're pissed at the teach?
Okay, just a reminder, this came out not even a year after Columbine, so that's a wild line to include in there. He's really pushing people's buttons. And I'm just old enough that I remember Columbine. It was like it was kind of the precursor to 9/11, right? It wasn't as big of a deal, but I remember being in class and one by one, and I'm from upstate New York, right? So nowhere near Colorado, but regularly kids were just like pulled out of class, right? And I wasn't one of them, right? And I didn't figure out what happened until I went home. And then the same thing happened on 9/11. And now I'm much closer to New York City than I am to Colorado when I'm growing up, right? I mean, it was a commutable town that I lived in, so a lot of parents actually worked in New York City. So it made a little more sense that kids were being picked up. And once again, my parents were like, it's fine. We need 6 hours away from this little redhead. We'll explain it to him later.
Him, it's you, it's a them. Wasn't me, Slim Shady said to do it again. Damn, how much damage can you do with a pen, man?
How much damage can you do with a pen? I remember being a little boy and not understanding the metaphor and thought that there was, like, I knew the character of Slim Shady, so I thought that the bit was that he, like, killed somebody with a pen. I didn't realize he was talking about, how can you hurt someone with just words on a piece of paper?
I'm as fucked up as you would have been. You would have been in my shoes. Who would have thought Slim Shady would be something that you would have bought? It would have made you get a gun and shoot at the cop. I just said it.
I don't know if you do it or not. So that line, the reference to getting a gun and shooting at a cop, is a reference to a song that he had, I believe, on the Slim Shady EP. So pre-fame Eminem, he had a song called Murder, Murder. And it's basically about, going on a... Basically, if you played Grand Theft Auto, that's what the song is. It's just a cartoonish, like, I need money for my family. So then he he shoots a policeman in Eastland or whatever. And it's just very silly and tongue in cheek. But the thing is, it's a Slim Shady type story, but he's not doing the Slim Shady voice yet. He's doing like a very kind of monotone, it's basically the way he sounded on Infinite, but with the voice, the voice, literally the way he sounds, he still sounds like Infinite era, but the content is Slim Shady era.
Knew I would get this big. I never knew I would affect this kid. I never knew
I looked this up earlier. I never knew why. I thought maybe it was like a reference to something, or like he was referencing an old hip hop thing, like he does in The Way I Am. But
get him to hit this bitch. What the fuck was I supposed to know?
That little break is so cool. I love this beat. I think this is a Dr. Dre beat. I think most, if not all, of the beats are actually produced by Dr. Dre on this album.
Hey,
What's up?
Steve Burns.